Hey everyone, welcome back to Des House. So last time I said I was going to make a nut recipe. I'm going to switch that up a little bit because I made the glazed carrots to go along with the rouladen. So that's what we're going to do today. It's a really short video. It's not going to be as long as the last one. Sorry about that. So what you're going to need is carrots, maple syrup, salt, pepper, butter, and dill. So that's it for the recipe. So don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. This is the second video I've got running, so I'm going to try to learn as I go. I feel a little bit more comfortable this time. I really got to remind myself that, you guys are just out there. You're watching me because you want to watch me. And if you don't want to watch, that's okay. But if you like the videos or you like the content, please subscribe, ring the bell, and so I promise the next one will be the nut recipe. It's a really good one. So thanks for watching, and here we go. So what I've got right here is I'd say about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I have pre-cooked some carrots, which I've just chopped into bite-sized pieces. I've boiled them in salted and sugared water for about 12 minutes, just on a simmer, just to get them soft, because basically most of the cooking is done now. What we're going to do in the pot is finish them off. So we're going to get the heat back on. And then basically what you're going to do is put the carrots into the butter and let them sit. What you're trying to do is let them start to caramelize. So by simply stirring them all the time, you're going to prevent that from happening. Best thing to do is pour them into the hot butter and seriously just walk away for a few minutes, come back, have a look at one of them. If it started to brown, then go ahead, give them a stir, and then again let them sit until the ones that are newly on the bottom of the pot start to brown. So the butter is sizzling. Let's pour in the carrots. And now you're just going to let them sit. Other ingredients that you're going to need is salt. Not too much because, like I said, I've already salted the water for the carrots. Also some pepper. I find pepper goes very well with carrots, and especially when they're glazed. So I'm going to be using black pepper. I don't have freshly ground, so again, it's not necessary. If you like freshly ground, go ahead. I wouldn't use white pepper. I find it has a slightly different flavor, and it actually looks nice to see a little bit of the grains on the carrots. So let's let this brown. And another ingredient you're going to need is some maple syrup. So maple syrup is going to impart a little bit of sweetness, and it's also going to help the carrots caramelize near the end, but the syrup is only going to be added towards the end. It doesn't take very long to cook down the syrup. And the final ingredient you're going to need is some freshly chopped dill. Dill and carrots, it's a great mix, especially with the syrup. The herb and the sweetness goes very nice together with the kick from the pepper. So the dill, what I actually usually end up doing, I have a very hard time growing dill. I try every year and it just doesn't seem to grow for me. Maybe the place I'm planting it is not right. In any case, I usually just go to the grocer's. I buy a big bunch of fresh dill. I come home, I chop it up, and I put it in a freezer bag, and I put it in the freezer. And seriously, it's almost as good as fresh because it's frozen fresh. So once I take it out of the freezer, I take how much I need, whether it be a tablespoon or 2, and then right back in the freezer it goes, and at least that way I have, quote-unquote fresh dill for a couple of weeks, up to a couple of months. So we're just going to let this keep cooking, and I'll be back once they've started to caramelize. So here we are back. I've done the first stir. Just as you can see, I wanted to show you, if you can see how they are caramelized. So they just start to get dark on one side. So what you're going to do is let them keep going. Like I said, I've stirred it once now, so I stirred them and I let them be again for a minute or 2. This first batch really took about I'd say 2 minutes. I have it on fairly high heat. Turn it down a bit. You don't want to stir them too vigorously because then they might start to break up, because don't forget they have been pre-boiled. You're really just finishing them off right now. So we'll let this go for another minute or two and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So the browning is done. As you can see, all the carrots, most of them have a little bit of browning going on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lightly salt. Like I said, we've already done salt in the water. I would use unsalted butter for this. Again, like I said, because we've already salted. And now we're going to add pepper. Give it a quick stir. And now we're going to pour in the maple syrup. So here we go. I've got good old Canadian maple syrup. So let's give it a drizzle. You basically want to give a nice drizzle over the top. But in all reality, that probably is not more than a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half. Give it a nice stir so that everything gets coated. Turn down the heat just a little bit and let the syrup begin to cook down, just a touch. It'll caramelize rather quickly. And I'll be back in a minute or two with the finishing touches. Alright, here we go. So we're back. The maple syrup has cooked down just for about a minute or two. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to add in two tablespoons of freshly frozen chopped dill. Give that a quick stir. Pour it into our serving dish. Top with just a little sprinkle of dill. And there you have it. Glazed carrots with maple syrup, pepper, and dill. Hope you enjoy.